Have you guys heard about this? They are claiming they have found the geographical location of the Garden of Eden. And out of all places, you won't believe this, the North Pole.
All been told there's no land at the North Pole, but if we look at a live wind finder view, we can see in the center of the earth there is something large diverting the wind. What is this, you may ask? Well, I'm about to show you. Just go ahead and type in on Google, old map of the North Pole, and all these old maps will come up from the 1500s. And here's what they look like. Look right here, made in 1595. And if we look in the center of the map here, we have what is called the Rupes Nigra. Rupes Nigra was believed to be a huge magnetic rock located at the North Pole. This is why all the compasses point north. The Rupes Nigra was 33 miles in size, which is literally bigger than most cities, which is why it's able to block the wind like this at the North Pole. It's funny how all the early NASA Satelloon footage looks like this, with some big black hole in the center. Nothing to see here, guys. If you guys didn't know, this is literally the mountain that's spoken about all throughout the Bible. This is Mount Zion, which is located directly above the Garden of Eden, which is why you see these 4 rivers coming out of it. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. If we look in the book of Ezekiel, thou hast been in the Garden of Eden. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. So we know the holy mountain of God is located in the Garden of Eden. Rupes Nigra is the holy mountain of God. They're beautiful in elevation, which means it's very high. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion in the far north, which is why you can literally see the very top of it poking out through the clouds. No other mountain in the world does this.
So just in case you missed it, let me break it down in simple terms. We are given the impression by NASA based on images that are taken from satellites. It's just one big black hole based on the images that we see. But maps from the 1800s reveal that there is actually land on the North Pole. It is not some black empty void space. Now one would have to question, why would they hide this from us? What's the point? Now what these maps from the 1500s reveal about the North Pole, there is a gigantic mountain or rock mass that is right there at the North Pole. And this can be confirmed today if we look at modern wind finder view technology. You will see there is a massive mass of some sort right at the North Pole that is blocking the wind or redirecting the wind around it. Now just a sidebar, this massive rock at the North Pole, or this mountain-like structure, was known as the Rupes Nigra. Now guess what Rupes Nigra means? It means black rock. That name Black Rock sounds real familiar. Now this massive mountain or black rock they believe to be is the literal Mount Zion. And based on the book of Ezekiel, some people believe that Mount Zion was right beneath the Garden of Eden, which makes the topic we're talking about so believable, because this mountain is surrounded by water that flows in 4 different directions. And how is it again that the Bible describes the Garden of Eden? Genesis 2:10. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. Wow. In the book of Ezekiel, we can see the Garden of Eden being referenced directly to the holy mountain of God, or Mount Zion. Very, very interesting to say the least, right? Now, is this true, and is it the real geographical location of the Garden of Eden? Well, I'm not sure. It could be. It's not like they've ever found it in history to our knowledge anyway. But then again, that would give credibility to the Bible being true, and there's a lot of forces at work that just do not want us to know that. I also think it's interesting how NASA would go out of their way to black out. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys next is probably some of the most compelling and secretive information about this story. What it will prove to you is that this place, whatever it is, was purposely covered up. And it'll also prove to you who had something to do with it. But I cannot share this information on the social media platforms. This is the type of information that gets you banned, that gets you deleted, that gets you blocked. So you're gonna have to head over to my Patreon page where you can view the full and uncensored version of this video. I'll leave the link in the description. I'll also leave the link right there. So head over, subscribe, and I will see you guys there. As always, God bless you and shalom.